I want to take you through this really simple little process today that you can use for any kind of area in your life where you're feeling a bit stuck, where you're trying to find a solution to a problem and that solution is not coming. It doesn't have to be some big life-changing problem that you're being faced with. It can be something as small as you're finding that your route to work at the moment is currently taking you a lot longer than you want it to. You're getting stuck in lots of traffic and it's just not much fun, and you want to find another way that you can get to work on time without having to get stuck in traffic. Something as simple as that. But it could also be something as major as finding a solution to a problem in your relationship, finding a solution to a problem in your business, in your career. It works for everything, okay? So if you're new here, hi, my name is Josephine Snowling. Welcome to my channel. My channel is all around helping you to return back to what I call home, back to yourself, back inward, because from this place, learning to connect back here is what then allows you to create the reality, to create the life that you truly desire. And it is my desire to teach you how to do that. So if that is something that is vibing with you, then hit the subscribe button and I'd love to have you here. Okay, let's jump straight into this. So you've got this problem and you can't find the solution for it and it's driving you crazy. Okay, the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to allow the problem. So this is step number one. I want you to allow the problem to give you the insight that it's trying to give you. Okay, when we are faced with any kind of negative emotion in our life, that negative emotion is trying to tell us something. It's not just a pain in the ass, and I know it can feel like that a lot of the time. It's actually trying to give us information. And for so many of us, and I think because this is really not talked about a lot, especially when it comes to manifestation and, manifesting what you want and law of attraction mainly focuses on positive emotions, positive vibrations, because we know that those positive emotions and those positive vibrations are what call in the manifestations that we desire. And we kind of see negative emotions and negative experiences as something that we want to avoid, as something that is kind of just a bit of a pain in the ass. But actually, our negative emotions, our negative experiences are there to teach us just as much as our positive emotions are to aid us. So we need to start gaining clarity from what this problem is trying to tell us. And the beautiful thing about when you experience negative emotion, when you experience something negative in your life, is that it's clearly giving you this indication that this is something you don't like. And I know that might sound really straightforward, but for so many of us, we kind of brush over this fact. We just see it as like, it's a problem. It's something that, we don't like. And that's where we stop. But I want you to take this first step to understand what this problem that's arisen for you is actually trying to tell you about what you do want. Okay, so you know what it is very clearly. I'm sure you could write down right now exactly what it is you don't want. And that's a really great starting point. We need to know what it is that we don't want in order to inform us about what we do want. But so many of us don't take it that step further and allow it to tell us what it is we do want. So like with the stuck in traffic example, we know that what we don't want is to be stuck in traffic for, lots of time before we get to work. And so what is the desire? What is it that we are trying, what is it that we're trying to solve? Because I think this is why so many of us get stuck in the problem, is because we can't even see the place we're trying to get to outside of the problem. We're trying to look for a solution, but we don't even know, we know what point A is, but we don't know what point B is, okay? So in that example, the desire is to find a route to work that takes minimal time and doesn't include sitting in lots of traffic. That is the desire, okay? That is the place that we're trying to get to in that example. So the first step is to understand what it is that you do want, now that you know what it is that you don't want, okay? And then the second step after that, after you've got that clarity, you've gained that clarity from the negative experience, from the negative emotion, is to then start to make peace with that experience, that problem, that negative emotion. Okay, and I know this can be really difficult, especially if it's, maybe it might feel a bit easier to make peace with the problem like being stuck in traffic on your way to work, whereas maybe you're in a relationship that feels like it's kind of dwindling, like it's on its last legs, and it feels far more serious a problem than being stuck in traffic on your way to work. But the reason that you need to start making peace with the problem is because what happens is you're being stuck in that problem by hanging on to the problem. Okay, so what's happening is you're creating lots and lots more resistance within your energy field because you're being so stuck in that problem space. So this is where we then start getting into the realms of like the positive emotion. This is where we know we need to start getting into that positive, into those positive emotions, into those positive vibrations, because those are the vibrations that are going to allow us to channel in the solution to our problem. And we want to make sure we're in that receiving mode where we can receive the solution. And by holding on to all of this resistance around the problem is what is basically blocking, like literally right now, as we speak, source, God, the universe, the divine, whatever it is you want to call it, your inner being, your higher self, that non-physical part of you, that part that kind of sees that broader perspective, it knows where you are in relation to what you desire. Right now, at this moment, I want you to consider this. The solution to your problem is being channeled to you right now. It's never that it's not being channeled to you. It's always that you are not open to receiving it. So just let that kind of sink in for a moment, that like right now, that solution is being like beamed at you. It's kind of like, you know, it's being sent to you. But the problem is your frequency is not on the right radio station, shall we call it, to receive that guidance that's coming through right now as we speak. You have too much blocked up resistance in order to allow that to come through. So this is why we need to start making peace with the problem in order to start allowing the solution to come through to us. And the best way to do that is to start trying to look for what you're grateful for, what this solution is, what this problem is actually making you grateful for. And I know that might sound crazy because you're stuck in a problem, but I guarantee you there will be small things that you can look for. There will be aspects, there'll be parts of that experience that aren't a problem. Take a relationship, for example. Okay, so you might be focusing on various problems in that relationship, but I guarantee if you look close enough, you will find things that you do like about that relationship, things that you can focus on that do feel good about your relationship. And if you are adamant that you can't find anything to be grateful for, that you can't soften and make peace with, then this is the go-to thing that you need to pick. If you can't find anything in this problem of yours to be grateful for, the one thing that I can guarantee you that you can always be grateful for when you're stuck in a problem are these things. And that is that one, that problem is always expanding you. Being stuck in this problem is expanding you. Right now, you watching this video, you learning how to maneuver through that problem to find the solution that you want is expanding you. That problem is allowing you to grow. It's allowing you to change and become a different person. It's allowing you to step up and be a new version of yourself. Even if it's only by like a minuscule amount, it's still allowing for that development of yourself. It's giving you clarity, like we just spoke about in the first step. Now you know what it is you don't want. It becomes so much easier for you to start deciphering what it is that you do want. And when you start to know more of what you do want, you start to connect back more inwardly. You start to learn more about yourself. You start to connect back more to yourself, okay? Now, I've done a little 3-step gratitude practice this is like the practice that I normally use. I will link it up here. It's a video and it takes you through the 3 different techniques of how to get into gratitude and how to get into a space of gratitude even when you're feeling really strong negative emotion. So go and check that out, because that will basically go through what I've kind of explained here in a lot more detail. So if you're really struggling to find anything to be grateful for in your problem, go and check out that video. Okay, so make peace. That's the second step. Make peace with the problem. Find something to be grateful for. We need to start releasing that resistance a little bit around this problem. We need to start softening the vibration. It's not all about getting into like really high vibing places. We just need to start softening it. We need to start neutralizing it. Okay, and then the third step, and this is the one that, like, I fall into this big time, and I think so many of us do. The third step is you need to step away from the how. So you need to step away from what the solution is going to be, okay? This is not your job. And so many of us kind of get stuck in this place of, you know, we find a problem in our life, or we find something that we dislike, that we want to change. We might get to the step of going, okay, this is what I want instead. So we've moved that little bit further on and gone, okay, this is what I do want. But then what happens is we get so hung up, and I really don't know why. I think it's just a control thing for so many of us. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. We get so hung up around the how, like the how that's going to solve this problem. Like, we get so specific on how we want this problem to be solved. And I think mainly because we are viewing the problem from such a like narrow field of vision that we can't see. We can't see what God, what the universe, what the divine, what source, what our inner being, our higher self can see. They can see, well, they, you know, that consciousness, that part of you that is connected to non-physical, that part of you can see so many solutions that you couldn't even dream about because you're not in that perspective. And yet we have this really tiny like tunnel vision, and we see one possible solution that we think might work, and we focus completely in on that. Like, that's the only way it can happen. This is the only way my problem can be solved. When really what we're doing is we're cutting ourselves off to numerous solutions that could be available to us, but simply because we've decided to focus on this one how. So you need to get out of the how mindset, okay? Don't worry about the how. The how will come to you, and it will come to you. And when it comes to you, like, you're going to know, it's going to like light you up inside. It's going to feel good within you. And you're going to be like, yeah, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. And have you ever had those times where that how has come to you? Like, you've been doing something random, like probably nothing connected to the problem that you're trying to solve. And suddenly you'll just get that light bulb moment, and you're like, I would never have thought of that in a million years. Like, this is what we're looking for. And this how is going to be so much easier. It's going to be quicker. It's going to be so much more aligned than the how that you've decided to focus on. So step away from the how, okay? All you need to do is focus on what you want instead of the problem, what you want the solution to be, or not even the solution, what you want the desired outcome, the desired experience to be, where you want to, what is your point B? You know your point A, you need to work out your point B. Focus in on your point B and don't work out how you're going to get there. How you're going to get there is going to happen. It's going to unravel itself for you. It's going to be channeled in through you, okay? And then this kind of leads into point 4, which is that you need to keep focusing back on, so you've got two options here. So you either keep focusing on what your point B is, you focus on what the desire is, the thing that you want, or if that kind of gets you really wadded up and tangled up, because again, if you keep focusing on that but going, I have no idea how I'm going to get there, and then you kind of get all funny about how that solution's going to come, and then it starts to make you think about the solution, and then you're like, I don't know. If that is getting you really wadded up by focusing on what the desire is, then step away from it altogether. I know this can be hard because it depends what your problem is that you're trying to solve, and some problems are going to be easier to kind of put aside than others. But if focusing on what you desire instead is making it worse, because what can happen there is we can get really focused on lack instead of like wow, I can have, unless you're in this is what I want and this is going to happen. And I can't wait for when this happens and this solution comes down through me. And then I know the actions that I need to take to get to this place. Unless you're in that kind of space with it, focusing on what you want can actually cause more lack within you, because you focus on it and then you focus back on your current reality, back on the problem, and go, I'm a million miles from this. And then you start getting into that vibration of lack, which is, you're never going to attract that solution when you're in the vibration of lack. So what do you do instead? You try and focus on something completely different instead. Remember, it doesn't matter like what is causing you to be in a place of allowing, in a place of receiving, in a place where your vibration is high. It doesn't matter what topic you've chosen to drive you to that place. Okay, it doesn't mean that because, say you've got a problem with like your relationship that you want to solve, but you're like, things with your career, maybe things with your business are really going well right now, like you're firing on all cylinders, and you choose to focus on that area. Just because you choose to focus on that area, it doesn't mean that the problems in your relationship can't be solved, because all of this works on the basis of energy. Okay, and energy does not care what it is you're using to get into that energy. All it cares is the frequency and the energy that you are putting out there. So if your problem is in your relationship, for example, and you choose to focus on like your parenting, your career, your business, your health and fitness, an area in your life that it is going really well, where everything feels like it is in alignment, and you choose to focus more on that, your vibration is going to naturally rise. And then you get into that place of receiving and allowing. And that is when you'll be doing something to do with one of these other areas. And the light bulb moment for, in this example, that your relationship will come through. That is when it will happen, because you're not focused on it. You're not getting bogged down in the problem of it. You're not trying to figure out what this solution is to it. Okay. So they're kind of like your two options. If focusing on the desire feels really good and it's not forcing you into a place of lack, then do that. If it's forcing you into a place of lack, and so basically how you know that is when you focus on what you desire, if it doesn't feel good to focus on that, you know you've gone into lack with it. So then just simply keep trying to put it aside. This isn't about suppressing it. It's not about pushing it under the carpet. When you do that, like, people get, I think, a bit confused with this. When you suppress something, quite often you're doing this in an unconscious state. This is very different. You are consciously doing this. So if that desire comes up, or the problem comes up in your mind, and you start, going off down that path, and, your brain starts working and creating the story and, getting into a place of lack with it all, stop it and consciously say, I'm going to put this subject down for a while and I'm going to pick this one up instead. That is not suppressing. That is being conscious about, this topic right now is not making me feel good, and I am going to, in an effort to make this area start to thrive again, I'm going to consciously put this down for now, and I'm going to pick this area up, because I know when I focus on this area in my life, I feel good, I feel relaxed, I feel like I'm in a lower place of resistance, and I know that when I'm in this place, I am more likely to receive downloads and insight about how to make this area of my life thrive again. Okay, that is consciousness. It's not suppression. Okay, so don't think that you're just brushing it under the rug. Like, you are consciously putting that down and picking this up so that you can help influence this. Okay, and then so basically, like, this is kind of reiterating what I've been talking about the whole time. Step 5 is understanding that solution, the solution to your problem, is going to come when you're in the receiving mode. Remember, like what I said at the start, at every moment, your inner being, your higher self, God, source, the universe, the divine, whatever it is you like to call that non-physical part that you're connected to at all times, that part of you is channeling solutions, it's channeling ideas, it's channeling thoughts, like, it's channeling that energy towards you. And the only reason you can not receive that is because you're not in a place to receive it. It's not that that information has been cut off by source, it's that you've cut it off. And that can feel a bit shit, but find the empowerment in that, okay? The empowerment is that this is within your hands. It's not that like source or God has gone, well, no, you haven't really been listening lately, so sod you, you're not going to get some divine downloads right now. It doesn't work like that, okay? It is purely that you are in a place where you are shut off to the solutions, okay? And we know that in order to get those solutions, we have to get back into a place of allowing, a place of receiving. We have to relax into that. We have to raise our vibration, get on that frequency that the solution will come through. And then that is when those light bulb moments are going to happen, okay? So that is it. That is your 5 steps. So let's just do a quick recap. Okay, so the first thing is allow the problem to tell you what it is that you do want. Once you know what you don't want, it's much easier to start deciphering what it is that you do want. Find out what it is that you do want from this problem. The second step is to then make peace with that problem, okay? Start to find ways. We need to relax our vibration. We need to start relaxing ourselves around this problem and start making peace with it. So either you need to find things within that problem that you can still be grateful for that actually aren't such a problem. So in a situation like a relationship, for example, or something in your business. And if you really are struggling to find any problem, anything to be grateful for within that problem, then look to what the problem is giving you itself. It's giving you a chance to learn, a chance to grow, a chance to expand, a chance to learn more about yourself. That is always something to be grateful for. And like I say, I'll pop it up again. Here's the video if you want to go through that gratitude practice in much more in-depth detail. Then the third thing is to ignore the how, is to stop trying to focus on how this problem is going to be solved, because trying to focus on the how is what's getting you really wadded up in this problem, okay? Understand that the how is going to come to you by you getting into a place of allowing and receiving, okay? Then watch where your focus is going. If focusing on the desire, on the place on your point B, that you want to move to from your point A is getting you excited, it's getting you into a place of feeling abundant, of, feeling that excited anticipation, focus there. But if focusing there is just making you focus back on your reality and comparing the two and realizing how far apart they are, and I don't know what this how is, it's making you feel lack, then like we were saying, consciously put that topic down, put that problem down for now and pick up a new one. Pick up a new topic, pick up a new area that makes you feel good, that doesn't make you feel that lack, okay? Remember, it doesn't matter what you're focusing on in order to get into that receiving and allowing mode, in order to raise your vibration. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a lingering cold, so I'm really struggling to get some words out today. It doesn't matter what topic you're focusing on to raise your vibration. All that matters is that you're in a place of allowing and that your vibration is starting to get higher. The more higher your vibration, the more easily that guided information can come through you. Okay, and then finally, as we just said, you need to be in a place of allowing to get that solution. The solution and the how, and the best possible one that is aligned with you and what you desire, is always being fed to you at every single moment. You just have to get yourself in the vicinity to receive it. Okay, I hope this has been helpful for you guys, and I hope that you can take this step by step and apply it to any problem or any decision even that you might be facing in your life. Let me know in the comments if this has been helpful. Let me know also if there's any other areas, any other topics that you're really struggling with right now that you want some extra guidance on how you can return back home, so that you can start creating from in here, and then you can create all of this exciting stuff outside from this place. And also, if you don't know, drop down into the description, because I've got a lovely free gift for you which gets you started on this journey of coming back home to yourself. It's my free guide that I've put together, and it's called Uncover Your Authentic Self. And it just takes you through how to start reforging that relationship within yourself again, how to start connecting back to yourself, how to start understanding your negative emotions, how to start working with them, how to start using them, how to start raising your vibration, how to start connecting in with your intuition, how to start finding out what your purpose is in your life. All that good juicy stuff is all in that guide, so go and check it out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a beautiful day whatever you're doing. See you later. Bye.